Hi everyone, thought I'd make a video on my recovery from anorexia. I've only been diagnosed about 2 weeks ago. Didn't really know I had it, but slowly figured it out after studying personal training, and I did a unit in nutrition, and going by the amount of calories that the teachers were telling me that people in general need to eat, I started to put two and two together that I wasn't even eating enough for basic functioning, and by basic functioning I mean having enough energy for my heart to beat properly, blinking, breathing, sweating, all of those natural things that are going on in your body. I didn't realise exactly to that point how bad things were for me until a few months after that, when I started counting calories and trying really hard to meet the basic requirement of, like, there's no set figure for how many calories you should have. It depends on how much you're doing during the day, and your body mass index, which is not always a perfect measure. It can be completely unreliable, especially in relation to if you have more muscle than fat. So I'm a little bit skeptical on the BMIs, but my BMI says I'm below what I should be, and I know I am because I've lost 12 kilos over the last 2 months or so. Not completely intentionally, not really at all intentionally for me. So yeah, the basic amount of calories you should be having a day, minimum, is 1200. If you're like me and you have an eating disorder and you start to add up how many calories you're eating a day, you might then start to realise that you're not even getting enough to keep your body functioning the way it's supposed to be. I was eating, and I'm still struggling because it's only been 2 weeks. I was eating anywhere from, say, 300 to 800 calories a day. 800 was extremely good day. But on those days where I ate a lot, or to me what I think is a lot, I'd actually end up really fatigued and feeling just, I don't know, I had no energy, and I couldn't figure out, like, I figured I'd eaten so much, so why don't I have energy? Why do I still feel so damn fatigued? Like, even now I'm out of breath because, I'm still not meeting my daily requirement. So anyway, figuring out my calorie intake was really, really low. And most anorexics drop down to about 100 calories a day, which is really scary. So I'm quite fortunate I haven't got to that point yet. But years and years ago, I guarantee I was at that point. And the thing with me is, I have a different type of anorexia. I don't see myself as fat. I actually see myself as too thin. So I constantly want to put on weight, but I can never eat to do that. I was exercising, like, way too much. When I was doing personal training, I was doing 4 to 6 hours of athletic, like professional athlete style training a day. This included everything from weights, 2 hours a day. Not that I bulk up or anything like that, but so I had a lot of lean muscle. So my BMI would have been a lot higher than what it is now. Anyway, I got really sick. I got pancreatitis. I have liver problems, so this is where it all starts for me. Pancreatitis is where your insulin can't get put into your body properly because for me, it gets blocked. So I was put in hospital for a week and starved for an entire week because you're not allowed to eat or drink anything, not even water, until you're feeling well again. And sometimes it can take weeks of starvation for your pancreas to kick in again. So yeah, I lost a fair bit of weight from that. the month before that, my liver locked up, and I get really, really sick with that. And I get too scared to eat, okay? So this is why I'm anorexic. It's because I have a massive, massive phobia of food and foodborne illness. I'm really scared of meat in particular. I basically only eat chicken and fish, and I cut out red meat and pork about maybe 8 or 9 years ago. I ate a ton of pork and I ended up with pancreatitis, and that was the first time I had it. So I immediately put the two together, going, okay, well, obviously I can't process pork, so I won't eat it anymore. So I developed a massive fear of eating meat after that. I also don't eat red meat because I don't really agree with the way that they're butchered and all that. That's a whole different story. That's just my personal beliefs. So yeah, I have a phobia-based anorexia, and it's almost Christmas time, and I'm having a bit of a freak out. I'm going to be faced with eating food at other people's houses, and it's one of my biggest fears is not having control over how the food was prepared, or whether the surfaces were clean. Even though this is the strangest thing ever. My house is not even that clean. It's tidy, but it's not. I'm not like pedantic about food hygiene and all that here. Not food hygiene. Sorry, I should say I'm not. My kitchen's not perfect, and I know that won't make sense to a lot of people. It doesn't make sense to me and my psychiatrist either. But it's a work in progress. I found out I've got obsessive compulsive disorder as well, which goes hand in hand with the foodborne illness thing. I actually wash the dishes twice, like every single piece twice, before I'll even think about cooking. If I have to defrost chicken, I'll do it in the microwave, very, very slowly, which takes sometimes hours for me because I'm so scared shitless of dying from eating raw chicken or chicken that's not been prepared properly. So my cooking, I'm okay with eating my own food majority of the time, but every single piece of chicken or fish, every biteful, I'll check it. I'll bite it in half to make sure that it's completely cooked. Little obsessive, yes, very. I can't go out for tea anymore at the moment. My phobia is that bad. I literally take every bite in a half, and people just look at me like, what are you doing? Just bloody eat it. I can't eat out at the moment. And so Christmas is freaking me out because other people are going to be cooking stuff, and I'm going to have to be having this plate of food in front of me and having a massive anxiety attack just to put the first mouthful in my mouth and not throw it all up again out of fear. Not that I don't throw up, I don't purge or anything like that, but it really terrifies me at the moment, and I don't have my psychiatrist and dietitian support until next year when I get a proper treatment plan. So for the moment, I'm kind of fending for myself in trying to get my calories up, which is really hard because I don't know where to start. I've been watching heaps of video blogs or whatever you call them on YouTube, which has been really helpful, but people don't tend to suggest what foods you should be eating to get your calories up. So I'm kind of struggling with that. Trying to research as much as possible, but it's still really hard. So at the moment, I basically have a couple of bananas a day, a couple of Nutella sandwiches, or I'm going to force myself to have peanut butter, because apparently that's pretty good. I'm supposed to be having 2 oranges a day, but I've kind of slipped out of doing that for the last couple of days. And I'm having 2 big cups, like 400ml cups of sustagen sport, which has got lots of protein. It's got all the amino acids and nutrients in it that you just generally need. So I'm clearly not getting it from food. The other thing I wanted to talk about too is the biggest warning sign went off for me when I had to call an ambulance about 3 or 4 times. I ended up in hospital with my heart going absolutely crazy. Like, I felt like I was having a heart attack. I had pain in my chest. My heart rate was through the roof. My resting heart rate went up to 149 at one point. For me, it's usually about 50 because, being quite fit and all of that. So yeah, my blood pressure went through the roof and then dropped back down to really dangerous levels. Everything was all over the place. I cannot explain to you the fear I had. I really thought I was going to die a few weeks ago because my heart was just out of control. The doctors had me hooked up to every bloody heart monitor there is. And they were standing beside me for hours just going, we don't know why your heart's doing this, we can't figure it out. They took all these blood tests, okay, so what happened is my electrolytes were completely out of whack. Potassium's a really important mineral and, well, it's an electrolyte. And my electrolytes were low. I had to be put on a potassium drip and a magnesium drip. I've had to do this several times now to regulate my heart, and I have been put on supplements when I came home, and I took them for about, I think, 2 weeks. I've stopped taking them now because the sustagen's got quite high potassium in it, plus I'm eating lots of bananas and things like that. So yeah, I can't stress enough how important it is to get enough potassium for one, and magnesium as well. You can actually have a heart attack and die on the spot if your potassium drops that low. Same with the magnesium, they both regulate your heart. Basically, there's a whole group of electrolytes. I can't think of the names of all of them right now, but if they do fall out of whack, yeah, you're in big trouble. So if anyone has any concerns with their heart, call an ambulance straight away, because you don't know how seriously you've damaged yourself, basically. If you've got anorexia, it's not good at all. It's the scariest thing I've ever been through in my life. Yeah, so this is pretty much week 1 of proper recovery. Like I say, I've been trying for a couple of weeks now, but when I think back, I think I tried to trick myself into thinking I was actually doing a good job at recovery, but when I'm checking my food logs and that, I'm realising I'm still only eating 1 meal a day, and my portion size would be the size of maybe like a saucer, cup and saucer, like a saucer plate. Tiny. My 9-year-old daughter eats adult size portions, and she can plow through it like there's no tomorrow. I can't even eat a quarter of it. Like, it's just so hard. 1, because of the phobia, and 2, because my body's so not used to eating a normal amount of calories. I'm not even eating a normal amount. I'm still struggling to get to 1,000 calories a day. Really, really struggling. I feel so bloated and sick. And I've noticed I've got all this fluid, and my stomach's just, like, it's kind of ballooning out. My psychiatrist said that's normal. It means that my body's just desperate for food and calories and fats, and yeah, it's not pretty. I feel like my thighs are kind of ballooning out as well with fluid. It's really squishy, so I know it's fluid. But apparently it'll redistribute once I've gained enough weight. I apparently have to gain a minimum of 6 kilos before I'm allowed to do any kind of exercise, because I'm not allowed to do anything at the moment. I'm not even allowed to go for walks. So I'm kind of housebound, and I'll sit outside in the sun. Yay me, that's all I can do when I'm used to doing 4 to 6 hours of training a day. That's really difficult. And I've also only just started telling friends and family, and a couple of friends are really supportive, and they're checking up on me every day with text messages saying, what did you eat today? Tell me the details of everything, and the sizes and all that. But what I fear the most is if my mum has told pretty much my whole family just before Christmas, I didn't actually want any of them to know apart from my parents. So I'm quite concerned with sitting around the table and wondering who's watching what I'm eating and how many lectures I'm going to get and how people are going to judge me by it, and they're going to think they know all the details about what anorexia is, and even though, you know, the typical anorexia is not what I have, it's a completely different type. So yeah, I'm really dreading that. Mum already rang me earlier today and yelled at me saying, why aren't I eating vegetables? And I was like, I do, but I can't eat a lot of them at the moment. I feel too full all the time. Like, sustagen's making me feel ridiculously bloated because I've switched over from light soy milk to normal high fat, and it's making me feel quite yuck. So yeah, I just want to sort of make a log and document my recovery, and yeah, I'm quite relieved to know, you know, that I've been diagnosed now and I'm on the road to recovery, and I know that I have got a problem. The other thing that alerted me to my problem was I did the grocery shopping. I bought heaps and heaps of fresh fruit and veggies and just really good food. And it was in the fridge for maybe 2 days, and I flipped out one night and I defrosted a whole heap of chicken, and it turned a little bit white, and I'm petrified of when it does that because I don't know where I read it, but apparently, like, if the temperature changes are too great in the defrosted meat, that the foodborne illness just basically explodes. And so instead of cooking my dinner like a normal person would, I looked at the chicken, I completely flipped, threw it out. Then I went through the fridge and I threw out pretty much every grocery item that I bought 2 days beforehand, and it was all probably still completely fine and fresh, and I screwed myself over for the next 2 weeks because I had bugger all food in the house, even for my daughter. So I started realising then that this behaviour is absolutely out of control and it's got to stop. So I went, because I had so many hospital admissions, I got assigned a nurse who actually comes out to my house every week to check up on me, and she helps me figure out a plan on what I need and just how to help me. And she also helps my daughter too. So we've got heaps of services and stuff at the moment. She was the first person I actually told about the whole throwing everything in the bin thing, and she asked me straight out, do you think you've got an eating disorder? And I sort of went, without even thinking about it, I just went, yeah, I do. I really do. And then she, so we just had a chat about it, and I was really open about it. I am really open about most things. I don't really withhold anything. I'm not ashamed of, you know, anything I go through or whatever. I'd prefer to be open and try and help somebody else through my own experience. So yeah, she helped set up to see the eating disorder service, and I saw them, like I said, 2 weeks ago for the evaluation, and yeah, there's going to be big plans next year to get everything going and going to get better, and I'm really determined to get better. I really cannot live like this for another minute. Like, I know I'm trying hard now, but I don't really have the support around me because I'm home without, you know, I don't live with anyone else, so it's just me in control of everything, and I'm not good at controlling myself, so it's really quite hard. Yeah, anyway, so this has gone on for a long time, and I'm sorry if, you know, I've bored you or whatever, but I just wanted to share my experience, part 1, and yeah, I just want to say one more thing. I had my weigh-in today, I had one last week, and even though I've been eating what I consider to be a lot more than the week before, I still haven't gained anything, so I was quite disappointed this morning. So anyway, I'm going to try really hard the next week, and hopefully I gain something, because I'm not allowed to do any exercise until I've gained 6 kilos, and I'm kind of bored, as you can imagine. Anyway, feel free to ask me any questions. I'd be happy to hear from anyone. So if you're going through a similar thing, I wish you well, and hope you have a relatively easy time with this, because I seriously am now figuring out how hard it actually is. Okay, bye-bye.